Let's say you run Llama 3.1 on AWS cloud with an NVIDIA T4 on an EC2 that is specifically made for GPU intensive workflows, and the cost for that would be around $380, $400. But what if there could be a more cost-effective way to run such workloads on something like RTX 3090, which has a 24 GB VRAM? So in this video, we'll go through and look at how you can set up community GPUs and link it up to a chat app that I had previously created. Let's get started with that. So the I'm using here is called Salad Cloud, which is a like community-based cloud for AI/ML inference. So as you can see here, the pricing for these like GPU intensive machines, right? So it's quite low compared to what we would normally pay for an AWS cloud. So let's compare it with the normal AWS cloud prices. So let's say the G4 instances, right, which is like what they claim is the most like cost-effective GPU instances. So even for that, the cost would be like for a 1 GPU with 4-core CPU would be around like $0.5 for an hour of usage, right? And this is the T4 instance of NVIDIA. But what we are getting here is more of the premium lineup, like 5090, 5080. Those are the most latest GPUs, right? So you could get all of this on this platform. This is not a sponsored video. I was just checking out the cloud and the community aspect of or the community provided GPUs. So the GPU providers actually get paid when they provide a GPU for them, and it's a win-win for everyone. So people who want to run the GPU workloads, they can get it at an affordable cost, and those who have GPUs get paid for renting out their GPUs. So what I've done here is I've gone through and created a Salad account, and I'll show you how you can set a GPU, and we'll link it to a simple chat app here, which I had previously built. So I'm running the Llama 3.1 like with an 8 billion parameter, and it runs off the cloud that I just mentioned. So to set this up, you need a Salad account. You can just go in and create using their platform with just an email ID. And once you log into that account, you would need to provide the credit card information to actually log in and use the account. They don't have a free trial. The free trial that they provide is just for the transcription services. So if I switch into this organization and look at the endpoints, they provide like 5 hours of free transcription services on the cloud. So that's the only free thing that they provide. But when we have to run, like custom things, you can do that here. You can buy the credits upfront. For this purposes, what I've done is I've bought like $5 credit and then logged in here so that I can actually go in and like start using the GPUs. So when I click switch to account, you can see that I have a Llama 3.18 billion parameter model running here. There are two replicas running here, and I'll show you. And it's running on 3090 RTX 3090 with a 24 GB RAM. So before we go in here, I'll show you how you can do this. So you can just click on the deploy container group, and there are different ways actually you can deploy here. So if you want to create a custom group and have a Docker specifically to your use case, you can use that here and go that route. But what I've done here is, since I want to run an LLM for this particular chat use case, I went here and selected the LLM from here, which is they call it as a recipe. So they've set everything up, and you can just take what they've set up and run with that. There are other workloads also, like image generation using the Comfy UI, Stable Diffusion, Excel, and all those things are here. And you can go with that if you need to. So I went with the Llama with the Llama 3.1. So as you can see here, it's a 8-core CPU, 8-core like 8 GB RAM, and the cost is around 87, like what do you say, $0.87 per hour, and the monthly cost will around $635 per month. So let's see what's happening here, right? So you can see the replica count is 3. So let's say it's 1. Okay, so now it's around $200 per month. An important thing about a replica count and the community cloud, right? So you would need at least 2+ replicas to be in place when you're running this, because since it's a community cloud, any one instance can go down. So there is no guarantee that this instance will stay for this amount of time. So if something happens and an instance goes down, if you don't have a replica in place with the correct count, you could actually lose what you were doing and the traffic can get lost. So that's a key point to note that. So you should choose the replica count that suits your workload. Let's say I'm going with 1 for now, and I'll just go to the next step. Here you can choose the hardware that you want. So I'm going with the default, which is the 8-core CPU, 8 GB RAM, and the GPU. So you can see that there is a wide range of GPU that's available here, right from the 5090 to the GTX series. So I'll keep it as default with the 3090 because I think that's nice. That's nice enough for this use case. And the disk space, I'm just going with the default of 1 GB of default space. And on the next step, you can set up the connections if needed. I am not putting any changes here. So there are different ways you could configure the connection gateway details. But right now I'm leaving it at default. So you can see that the load balancer algorithm is set to the least number of connections. So this comes into place when you have multiple instances running, and the load balancer will send data to the instance that has least number of connections. Yeah, then there is the monitoring part of whether you want to push it to some Grafana or something like that for external logging and monitoring. But yeah, I'll just leave it as default for now. And when you click it as deploy, it will go and create the instance, but you can see that there is the container name should be unique. So let's go, where is the container name? Okay, so when you click deploy, what it will do is it will start preparing this, and it will deploy the cloud. So if you can see here, I have a URL that I get here for this, the whole instance, and this is probably linked to the load balancer so that it can actually get the load and redirect it to the correct machines. So since this is only one replica, it will have just one ID, and the downloads will happen and set the Docker container and everything set up. So let's go back to the other container that I was running earlier. So this one is the new one that's deploying, and this one is the one that is running that I've already set up. So you can see, right, there are 2 instances running because I have set up 2 replicas. The only thing here is the cold start time. So the first time it took around 45 minutes to 1 hour to set everything up and get it running. But then if you still see the time difference, there will be a lot, because at any time one instance can go down and another instance can come in. So the age may vary, as you can see here also. So you can't really rely on this age because, like I said, it can go down. Yeah, setting up is pretty straightforward. You can just say, okay, this is the URL that I want, and you can just hit it via the Postman itself. So I've used the generate API of the Llama, and I've given it the model ID, so you can get the model ID, right? So to do that, what you can do is you can go into any one of the instances. You have the terminal running here. Okay, as you can see, the terminal is available, and you can run all the command line as you would run in a Linux machine. And you can see that there is a Llama model that is running, which is this is the model ID for that. So you can use that in the model parameters, and you can stream the response as you would do with any other model API, right? So that's about the instances and running all these things. Yeah, you can just integrate it with the chat app, saying that, okay, use the cloud URL from there and just basically stream the responses as you want. So that's pretty much it, what I wanted to share with you guys today about the community GPUs and how you can set it up and run custom machine learning workflows for your use cases. So I hope it was useful for you. If you did find it useful, just give it a like, and yeah, thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next one.